entertainment is driven by conflict. There's always some type of problem or battle that drives protagonists and antagonists together, and ultimately is the storytelling and gives the world our said characters live in its purpose. There needs to be some type of conflict or battle or something to avenge that calls our protagonists out of their comfort zone in order to accomplish said task. And this is especially true in video games. Mario is just another plumber unless he defeats Bowser to save Princess Peach, and Link isn't the hero of time unless he saves Zelda from Ganondorf, so on and so forth. Yet, one of the most popular games during this quarantine social distancing era we're all living in is not Call of Duty Warzone, it's not some epic single player quest, it's this. Animal Crossing is a unique video game series because in some ways it doesn't even feel like a video game at all. It's part simulator, part collectathon, even a part-time therapist for some people. You quote-unquote beat the game by just paying off all your debt from expanding your house, which is just such a normal thing to do that you might as well be playing Gen X Simulator 2020. There's no good versus evil, there's just existing on your island and building whatever you want. Animal Crossing New Horizons has no conflict, but does that mean that it is not entertainment? Does media need a start, middle, and end in order to be considered entertainment? Is Tom Nook just a cute salesman whose timeshare business went incredibly well? These questions I will try to answer on this episode of Wisdom in the Arts, Conflict and Responsibility in Animal Crossing New Horizons. The biggest thing that separates a game like New Horizons from its contemporaries is, as stated before, the lack of conflict. Even when the end goal of the game is to pay off your debts and collect all the fish or whatever you want to do, there's nothing really actively stopping you from doing it. Yes, there are certain events and items that are only available at certain points in the day or year, but there is no boss you have to defeat or key you have to find to unlock that portion of the game. You just wait. Or you can time hop, but that's kind of lame. There's an argument that since Animal Crossing is a kid-friendly game, there shouldn't be conflict, which I disagree with wholeheartedly. Even if we look at other games on the same family-friendly platform, the Nintendo Switch, there are several dark and foreboding stories that are told. Hey, you want to explore a post-apocalyptic Hyrule where the princess you were responsible for and failed that responsibility fights off a demon? Do you want to reflect on your own mental health and well-being as you fight a personification of your self-doubt? Do you want to fight whatever this monster is? Splatoon, you're ridiculous. Anyways, where was I? The point is, even kid-friendly entertainment can have a good side and a bad side. Classifying New Horizons as a kid's game wouldn't be true, nor would it be doing its active adult fanbase a disservice. What makes Animal Crossing captivating, why the game has become so popular without a conflict, lies in the experience it brings to its players. The basis of Animal Crossing as a franchise is a pretty ordinary type of gameplay. You fish, decorate, expand your house, and interact with your neighbors. It is essentially an ideal retirement lifestyle that is cel-shaded and your neighbors just happen to be cute animals. There is nothing epic or legendary about it, and yet here we are. Which brings me to what entertainment with or without conflict has always been about: escapism. We watch movies and shows, listen to music, or consume whatever content we do because we are trying to leave the world we live in and teleport to something that is capable of distracting us from whatever is in our current situation. That being said, why would you escape to this, which is nice, when you could escape to this, or basically anything else? People play NBA 2K to be an 8-time NBA champion and win MVP 9 times, not just be a normal dude who showed up to the game because he got tickets on SeatGeek. In all the games I just showed, there is a responsibility and duty that you as a player are burdened with, whether you want that responsibility or not. Being the chosen one, or fighting dragons, or being an NBA All-Star is great, but the core concept of the game, the story that the game developers want you to live out, does not get told unless you move and you act. Animal Crossing isn't escapism to a simple world where there is no real responsibility. The lack of conflict allows you to do whatever or not do whatever, and there's no consequences for your actions or lack of action. Do you want to fish all day to improve the museum? You go for it. Do you want to interior decorate your home and become a Marie Kondo? Please feel free. It's reminiscent of an Andy Griffith type of life where the problems, quote unquote, are not life-changing and it's a peaceful neighborhood all in all. There's no big overwhelming problem, and the petty arguments that happen in episodes are over in 20 to 25 minutes. That type of life, where everybody is friendly and nonchalant towards each other, is difficult to picture now, and it feels even impossible to imagine since this quarantine era we're all living in. The tranquility that your island lifestyle offers in New Horizons is something that people seek to enter as an escape from the stress that their current life brings. That lack of conflict in-game is the hook of the game, as ironic as that sounds. Another question that needs to be answered, though, is that does the void of plot in-game create a uncaptivating gameplay experience? Anybody who has taken sophomore year English in high school knows the hero's journey outlined by Joseph Campbell. This chart is a step-by-step guide to what most protagonists go through in a book or movie or any type of entertainment. What happens in New Horizons, though, is that it just stops here. That's it. There's no redemption, there's no defeat, there's nothing really in this latter 3/4 portion of the chart. It's like if the entire Lord of the Rings franchise was just 11 plus hours of Frodo Baggins hanging out in the Shire, which, don't get me wrong, I would be down for, but that's not the point. The point is, why play this game if there's no plot and there's no surprise? Well, to quote the legend Reggie Fils-Aimé,
the game is fun.
New Horizons doesn't need a plot because the simple life that takes place in the exposition is fun by itself. The life that you're granted access to from the beginning is quaint and relaxing, and there's no need to present the player with more responsibility if they're satisfied with what the game is already. Yes, you are granted supernatural aid in the sense of you can actually customize the land features of your island, but that's just a normal system of progression that helps your little slice of heaven become even more to your liking. Your island will always be your island, and while there are certain abilities and shops that are not available till later in the game, there is no secret island that is unlocked if you collect all of the fish. The fun of the game is not in progression, but relaxation. The previously mentioned game Skyrim is a great game to compare New Horizons to, as ridiculous as this sounds. As you play Skyrim, you gain better weapons, your skill trees get maxed out, you gain supernatural abilities, and fulfill your destiny as the Dragonborn by saving the world. You're presented a new quest every 2 minutes, and once you're done with one, 2 come back in its place. It is a never-ending list of things to do, and it can be very frustrating, and even though you play for 5 hours and level up 5 times, it can still feel like you're not really doing much at all. New Horizons, on the other hand, keeps its relaxation and fun on the same island by throwing in a new citizen every now and then, new items in the shop, and a special event that happens once a month or so. Most importantly, it doesn't thrust these new events and experiences on you that you feel like you have an obligation to do in game. You can make this.
Are they breathing?
No, Rose. They are not breathing. And they have no arms or legs.
No, that's not part of it.
Where are they?
And nobody's going to stop you. To wrap all this up, Animal Crossing New Horizons is a unique game because it has no conflict or responsibility, and yet the very lack of those things help captivate its audience and make it such a unique video game experience. The game is focused on giving the players a chance to relax, enjoy themselves, and do whatever they want without having a mission or purpose. And while that style of entertainment might not work in any other media format or even on a different platform, its success as a series, and especially its most recent launch of Animal Crossing New Horizons, speaks for itself. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not really sure what this is going to be. I just felt the need to make this video. Will I make more? Probably. I don't know when they're gonna come out. I don't know how often they're gonna be, if they're always gonna be about video games or whatever the heck this series becomes. I'm just really excited to start this, and I hope that you enjoy. I hope that you subscribe, share with your friends. I think this is what normal YouTubers say and do. I don't even think I'm a YouTuber, so let's start there. But cool. Yeah, until next time, thank you.